Welcome to Bets for Breakfast. I have one betting pick for every single NBA game. We're going to look at PrizePicks underdogs, make parlay, and we're going to slide in some MLB picks at the end of the video, so stick around. OddsShopper.com on my left. As you're watching, it's on your right. First game, we got the Philadelphia 76ers getting 14.5 points on the road against the Knicks. Knicks laying 14 points at home. Makes me a little nervous, but we got to make a pick. So let's start with Justin Edwards and all the opportunities he's getting. Only played 28 minutes last game. That was a shocker. He'd been playing 35 plus for like 8 games in a row. 76ers totally tanking. 18.5 PRA actually looks pretty darn good in my opinion. I'm gonna click on his player card. Bang. Pops open. You can see he's been a walking W. 25, 23, 32, 28, 24, 23, 23 PRA. And that is last game against Toronto where he only played 28 minutes. Best part though, my man still took 17 field goal attempts. I think even if he's getting a little tired, again, that was a second leg of a back-to-back for what it's worth. He's going to go out there. He's going to take 15 plus field goal attempts. He's going to be in a good spot to cash the over. If you're going to make me make a pick from this game, that would be the one. Let's move on to some better games. Next up, Suns on the road against the Bucks. Bucks have lost 4 straight. No Damian Lillard. Giannis not doing it right now. Got another MVP award in his future most likely, but it ain't happening this year. He's been very inconsistent despite the fact his overall stats are pretty good. I don't know how healthy he is. Bucks laying 5.5 at home, and that's because Kevin Durant is out. Bradley Beal still remains out. It's going to be the Devin Booker show tonight. A couple plays we can look at in this one. Let's get to it. So let's look at Giannis first and foremost. We'll slide over to his points prop today, and 29.5 on DraftKings, an absolute steal in my opinion. Onyx always shares the same odds. I should say the majority of the time. Let's take a look at his player card, and you're going to see why I thoroughly like this play. Not a huge fan of betting on end-of-season NBA, but at 29.5, again, no Damian Lillard. And even in these losses, and even in games where you wouldn't say Giannis is playing great basketball, he's still cashing the over. And there's a lot to like here. Who's going to slow him down on the Suns? They're going to get destroyed in the paint. Sorry, Nick Richards and anybody else that tries to help. Giannis is in for a big game today. I love that 29.5 points. On the other side, I think we could look at Devin Booker today as points assist prop. I think that's a fine option as well. So let's go ahead and type in Book, and we'll go to his points and assist market and take a look. 33.5. Now you're going to look at a player card here that looks terrible and it does not look good. But at 33.5, get rid of all this red. It doesn't matter. Stats, trends, graphs, these beautiful colors, they are all irrelevant at times if you don't apply the context behind those results. And now we have no Kevin Durant. The impact of no KD and Beal is going to be significant. I would imagine this is going to be a day you're going to look back and be like, man, how come this wasn't like 38.5? I think Booker can go absolutely nuclear, the alpha and the omega for this team tonight. And I expect him to go out there and take 25 field goal attempts at 15 potential assists. The upside is there for days. I love both plays. Give me Booker over 33.5 points and assists, and then give me Giannis over 29.5 points. Actually, I like a little bit better just because of that 29.5. If you take it at 30.5, good luck. I love the 29.5. All right, moving on. We got more games today. Blazers getting 5.5 points on the road against the Hawks. That's actually an interesting line in and of itself. They just keep playing so hard, and the Hawks are playing some better ball as of late. Trae Young's looked great. Dyson Daniels starting to hit some more shots these days. Risakar, I think that's how you say it. Their rookie starting to put on some points lately too. His jumpers hit. Just had a career high a few games ago, I believe 37 points. A lot of interesting pieces. Deni Avdija, I always brutalize that name, has been looking great too. And we've been, talking about him quite a few times on this show, and for good reason. I mean, they are missing everyone under the sun, and they might also be missing Simons tonight. And you're seeing when that happens, you've got upside for days in this team and on this offense. And he gets there in a multitude of ways. 3, banging them home. Rebounds, upside of in the teens here, 15, 16, 16. The assists up there, 7, 8. I mean, the PRA is probably the best angle, but man, they are starting to jack that up. Maybe the PR if you want to go for the trends look. PA, similar, and then RA is going to be very similar. Just so much upside in so many different categories. For me, I probably would go right to the points. I don't think the Hawks have someone to match up against. They've not been the best against those power forwards, those guys that attack the rim. And Deni, if you've ever watched him play basketball, he's either shooting the ball from 25 feet or my man is a bull in a china shop trying to get to the rack. There's no in between. He's not a mid-range jump shooter. That's not his game. He literally, You used to watch Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook in his prime, and they would literally hold the basketball like a football. They'd tuck it into their arms that they drive, and they'd go so hard to the rack. Deni does that in a less beautiful way. But he is a bull. He's an absolute bull. At least tries to play like one. So I think the points would be my angle there for Deni Avdija. On the other side, Dyson Daniels, I think you could go. This is a sneaky play today. I'm going to type it in for you, and you're going to go look at this and be like, dang, donuts, that's a really nice play. We're going to go do his steals market today. So at 2.5, Hard Rock minus 140. I actually like this a lot. I think this could potentially be something you can use as like a parlay piece today. You're going to get a lot of steals opportunities here against a sloppy Portland Blazers team. They play great defense, but their offense is chaotic. It's absolutely chaotic. There's no head of the snake, so to speak. It's a terrible analogy, but they just don't have somebody leading the charge, especially if Simons ends up being out today. So Dyson Daniels, I think, is in a great spot to rack up steals as usual. It's not like he hasn't been doing this all year, averaging 3 per game on the season. Last 15, he's averaging 3.2. Last 10 games, 3.5. Had 5 steals last game against the Bucks. I think this is a really sneaky spot. For what it's worth, if you are looking for it, and I've talked about this ad nauseum inside my Discord, I love parlay pieces, these system plays. Sometimes you got to cut the juice down just a little bit, right? You got a minus 150 line, and you want one play that'll drop it down to like a minus 125. This is the type of play I like running out here. It's the Dyson Daniels experience, my friends. You could go back so many. I mean, this is literally all the way back to January 7th. He's missed it one time against Memphis on March 3rd. Since January 7th, he's had 4+ rebounds in every single game except for one. And it's not even close most games. I mean, 8, 9, 11. So Dyson Daniels, 4+ rebounds. If you're trying to cut the juice by like 20, 25 cents, that is a phenomenal way to do it. And I think you can run that out. You know, hey, you could take someone like Giannis, like an alt line for his points, and then run Dyson Daniels 4+, and you can cut that juice down to a respectable level. All right, we got more games here. Warriors and Grizz, 5 points on the road are what the Warriors are laying. Speaks volumes of how good they are playing. On the flip side, Morant talked about in yesterday's video of what a great play he was for his points, and he popped off. I talked about Tatum yesterday as well in my video. Over 13.5 rebounds and assists. He cashed as well. Yesterday was a pretty good video, if I don't say so myself. And then you've got the Grizz getting 6 points at home. Got to stay tuned and see what's going on with Ja. I have not seen news on him being out for the second leg of back-to-back. I don't think the Grizz can afford to sit him for this game. They need wins right now in the Western Conference standings. So do the Warriors. This is an absolute scrum for the top 6 seeding in the West right now. And all sorts of teams have shots at climbing as high as the 2nd seed still, including both of these teams, if they are able to get hot, stay hot, and get help. So could be an interesting game. Because of this and the pace of play, gotta think my man Steph Curry's the first place I'm going to go to today. And then on the flip side, we'll go look at Ja and some of these other players if we need to. It's like a bounce back spot, right? We continue to see point guards do it against Memphis because of the pace of play, the more opportunities they get with the ball in their hands. And Steph Curry, listen, he kind of goes through these spurts sometimes where 6 for 21, has an off night, bounce back night, next night shooting great, doesn't need to shoot a lot because of a massive blowout against Toronto. Crappy night from the floor against the Pelicans, a terrible team, and then the Spurs, blowout, only took 10 field goal attempts. It's like you see these up and downs, and then you see this run where he just goes bonkers, 32, 24, 40, 28, 29, 56, and they're usually sandwiched by a few bad games. And, you look at his full season, and again, here's a litany of games here, 7-8 games in a row, crap, and then pops off for 8 games. You've seen it, I'm seeing 4 different times this year that this has kind of happened. Is it due? Is he due? He's due. Is it happening tonight? I don't know, but I think it's worth taking a look to seeing if he will get us there. If you are concerned that he's not, and he's going to keep passing, distributing the ball, go with the assist prop for Steph Curry. But I don't think it's a bad play whatsoever. On the flip side, I think we need to look at Morant. Just go there first and foremost. Do you think he's going to run out an appropriate amount of minutes here April 1st? I don't know. We'll find out. This is going to be a nice spot for him. I think that, seeing him come back, we're getting Morant, 2 games with his new head coach, and he continues to, run out there and get a billion rebounds and assist opportunities, take a ton of shots, 23 and 20 in his last 2 games. He had 18 RA, 11 RA, 22 and 26 points. He's just been so good. So John Morant, PRA, maybe in play today. I think that's a really interesting one. Let's move on, though. I am trying to make this a little quicker so I can add more PrizePicks, Underdog, MLB at the end, and things like that. If you could do me a huge favor, if you like my show, you got to show me. Engagement's been lower the last 2 videos since I skipped Saturdays. I'm going Monday through Friday. Family life takes over on the weekend. I got to accept it. Like the video. If you're new, subscribe. I'm here 5 days a week giving out hopefully at least a little entertainment, most likely lining your pockets as well. Got to hit that sub button for me, though. Hit that sub, turn them noties on. I'm back every single morning. Let's keep going. Real quick, let's take a look on the screen. You're seeing the Daily Send It on Twitter. Yeah, the Daily Send It parlay of the day. Yesterday, this went 4-1. The only team that missed, Royals cashed, Rays cashed, Giants and Cubs cashed, Twins show. Second day in a row that they choked the Daily Send It. Plus 1589. Just missed out, my friends. I post this every single day on Twitter. DFSN Donuts. And here you are watching me on my PrizePicks on YouTube. I also post this Nerfy records cheat sheet. If you like betting on no runs first inning, you guys can get that information right there in X as well. Just follow me there at DFSN Donuts. And hang tight. We're still going to look at the hottest trends, the best plays based on how they're playing. Soon, that is coming up. We're going to be looking at Dante Divincenzo second here, the catalyst to the massive scrum we saw last game and what I like out of him today. So hang around. We still got Underdog PrizePicks and some other straight picks to go over, maybe some parlay pieces. Get back to it. Raptors on the road against the Bulls. Bulls laying 4.5 at home. Massive, disgusting blowout loss yesterday against the Thunder. No shame in it, but you think the Bulls were, I think, 9-2 in their last 11, covered in, I believe, 10 of those 11 games, and then they got shredded to pieces. So what's going to happen here? I think they're going to blow out the Raptors, a team that is tanking versus the Bulls, trying to secure top 10 seeding for the East and make the play-in round. And, you know, they got a good shot at it right now if they can stay hot. Coby White bounce back night, potentially. On the other side, you know, you've got Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, you know, RJ Barrett. It depends on who's active for them to see who you can bet on. So just to speed up the process here, I've opened up their player cards, and this is where it gets hard for me to bet on some of these guys. 28, 27, 28 minutes. Scotty Barnes, clearly they're ramping him down. The assists are going to be chaotic. The rebounds and assists are going to be chaotic. On the other side, you got Emmanuel Quickly. I mean, he hasn't played in a couple games, and now it looks like he's playing tonight. You know, his RA was in my previous video at 9.5, and I think you could probably go back to that one in this game. You know, he's going to get enough minutes here where he can still cash this over, but it's not a comfortable play, not knowing what they're going to do with their rotations. And on the flip side, you've got Coby White. Other than the OKC game had been going off, he's my pick. He's the only one I'm semi-interested in. You know, but again, I'm not betting on this. I'm not betting on this game. That needs to be abundantly clear. This Coby White line right here on PrizePicks looks pretty good. Looks like it's juiced at 23.5 on multiple books. 24.5 it has been moved on other. Orlando Magic on the road against the Spurs. A lot of this depends on if Cole Anthony is available or not, to whether or not I like Paolo Banchero and his points and rebounds. Played 36 minutes last night, 26 points, 6 boards, 32 PR against the Clippers. Very tough matchup. Tonight's matchup, very easy against the Spurs. So let's just go to points and rebounds. And again, without Cole Anthony, I mean, he's cashed the over. Oh, not Cole. I'm going to type in Paolo. Without Cole Anthony, he's cashed the over in all but 2 games this year. 35.5 PR. I slammed the over. Took 23 field goals last night. So 35.5, Paolo Banchero. If no Cole Anthony, slamming the over. If Cole Anthony, not touching it. Let's move on. Keep it quick. I got more to do today. Wolves and Nuggets. There we go. Third matchup between these two teams. Nuggets laying 3 points at home. Very interesting spread as it stands. Nuggets clawing to find their way to the second seed. They're fighting their way to the second seed. Wolves just holding on to their pride the best that they can, trying to stay a top 4 seed. Now, I kind of already looked at it. It was the Divincenzo over 16.5 PRA line. I'm slamming that in there. I mean, listen, 10 minutes, had himself 12 PRA. It was on it. He's having a good game before him and Isaiah Stewart went at it, and, you know, 7 players got ejected. You got to think the catalyst to that scrum, that fight, those ejections that come in, playing with his chip on his shoulder. And on top of that, he's played Denver twice this year, 25 minutes in both, you know, right in line with the amount of minutes he's playing virtually every single game this year. And what did he do? Well, he had 21 and 22 PRA. I don't get this line. It's way too low. I'm taking the over 16.5 PRA. That is an official pick. I like that one a lot. Let's go back to the trends page, see what we can make happen. Then we're going to use the optimizers for PrizePicks and Underdog. Oh, and real quick, if you are like, man, end of NBA season's really tough. I'm with you. 3-day trial, Donuts Picks link down below. I'm telling you right now, up on my screen, I'm showing you recaps from my staff. They've been popping off left and right. Your boy right here in front of you, 10-3 in MLB. I am the king of MLB betting. And I know a lot of people say this, but I backed it up with 2 years in a row of Pickett, over 200 units profit last year in MLB. It was 3 times as high as any other sport. Absolutely outrageous. MLB is where I am best. There's a lot of data. There's a lot of math. There's a lot of number. And I am king at betting on MLB. And I'm telling you right now, that 3-day trial down below, or you can use it immediately and get a 50% off first month. So it's your choice. 3-day trial. See if you like it, then stick around. Or just say, hey, why not give it a shot for 15 bucks? You get access to all of these channels you're seeing on the screen right now. There's 15 plus channels, 10 plus cappers, and 10 sports are covered. That's a lot of value for $15. And if you like, you want to do the website research yourself and use the stuff you've been seeing on the screen, and you don't want our picks and you want to make your own or use the Optimizer Plus EV picks, you can do that as well. That is the MySportyEdge.com link down below. Code STREAM makes it $10 a month. Or heck, use the 50% off code for my pick service and the $10 access to my website. And for $25 for the next 30 days, you're hooked up both tools-wise, optimizers-wise, and pick service-wise. Both linked down below. All right, let's get to it. So this is going to show us anybody who's been hot, who's not. Coby White, 28.5 PR. Again, we've already talked about this. So averaging 34.3 points and rebounds per game last 10 games. He's hit the over for his PRA at 32.5 in 13 of the last 15 games, so on and so forth. Anytime you see these, this means a pick-em-app has essentially given some type of benefit to playing that, some discount pick, free square, whatever you want to call it. Christian Braun, turnover. We've talked about this one a lot as well. Over in 9 of the last 10 games, averaging 1.5 turnovers per game. Now, I am zoomed in at like 300% because I know a lot of people use the YouTube app to watch these videos. So I zoom in like crazy so you can see really easily. But this is Christian Braun's turnover. It's been glorious this year, averaging 1.03 turnovers per game. Over in 15 out of the last 15 games, 80% of the game. So do what you want with this information. Just trying to highlight some of these plays. Jared Butler for the 76ers is getting a ton of run. Hey, look at this. Dante Divincenzo. We were just talking about. I love that play. Over in 14 of his last 15 games. There's a lot to like here. Jared Butler for a steal. Hey, parlay that with Christian Braun. Use Nickeil Alexander-Walker for a turnover. I mean, you can do this on your own, okay? Jared Butler getting a lot of run now, and the steals are following suit. This is kind of how the NBA works, and these guys just need an opportunity, and once they get it, they start to pad certain stats. Onyeka Okongwu to hit a 3, he's cashed that 9 of the last 10 games. Taurean Prince to get a steal, 9 of the last 10, so on and so forth. You do your research how you see fit. I'm just showing you this is here for you. All right, now we're on Underdog. This is a great platform. If you have access to it, use code DONUT. You get up to $1,000 deposit bonus cash, and you get a free pick, which means if you're not even a member and you're like, well, I kind of want to use some of these picks, you can use the picks from this video and they give you a free pick. Essentially, you get a free square where a player just needs 1 point for the day. You can use that in conjunction with any of these picks that I have given you and I talked about on this video. Let's go over a few of my favorite ones from the list and see what we can make happen. Giannis, we already talked about 30.5. I think it's A-okay. If you want to take that there, you could grab that alt line 0.74 and pair it with that free pick today, and you'll be in a good spot of cashing that out. Just to show you what the math looks like, you'd end up getting just over a 2.2x to pair with a free pick, which is a pretty darn good result. Essentially, all you would need to happen, of course, the 1 point from the freebie pick from signing up using code DONUTS, DONUTS, and then you'd essentially just need Giannis to score 27 plus, and you cash it with ease. We talked about Deni and all the different ways you could, take his projections and try to take advantage. I think there's a lot of different ways you can go with it today. Paolo Banchero, that's right. If we have no Cole Anthony, this one's in play as well. 35.5, 36.5 projection, grabbing the higher. I think Justin Edwards is a good one as well. There's a lot of good baseball picks to go with today as well. I mean, you literally can lean on, baseball pretty heavily right now. I think it's probably the most consistent sport you're going to get at this moment. Devin Booker, we also discussed for his points and assists. I think Brook Lopez is in an interesting spot today for his point. I think the Suns continue to, bleed points to opposing center, and he should be in a good spot to have at least the opportunity to cash you out. Now, Justin Edwards, we talked about for his PRA. You could run that out today if you'd like as well. 19.5 there, an underdog. That's not a terrible option. Morant, again, continues to go nuclear here. 26 points last game, 11 RA. The RA projection not there. If it opens at 10.5 today, I like that higher. Coby White, back to the office we go, yeah? I mean, we could sit there and be happy about a play like this. I think we should be. Bulls need Coby. He's the engine that makes this runaway train keep chugging along. What a stupid analogy. I got to think of some better ones on the fly. But I like Coby White today to score some buckets. I like that a lot. Probably my top 3 or 4 picks for the day. A lot of that depends on Lonzo Ball remaining out. So stay tuned and pay attention to the news. But you know it. My play of the day, the number 1 spot that I love is Donte Divincenzo. If you're going to run it today, maybe this is a great power 2 that you could put out there on Underdog 3X. All right, let's go to the PrizePicks Optimizer, and we're going to look at MLB and NBA and see what we got cooking. Best play on the board per the match right now, Stephon Castle under 19.5 points on PrizePicks. Juiced to high heaven on most books. You're getting a nice 3.74% edge. Again, I'm telling you right now, against the Magic too. Interesting spot. These are all math-based. You don't need to argue them. You don't need to research them. You just take them because the math says take them. The math is mathing. Don't argue with it. Taurean Prince, over 1.5, 3. Juice. And you're getting a 3.64% edge against the sports books. Taking this on PrizePicks for your Flex 5s. So on and so forth. You can go down this list as you see fit and take them as you want. Do what you want with this information. Run them how you want. I'm telling you right now, this is on you to, figure out which type of strategy you want to run with. But this is the number 1 play on the board yesterday morning, I believe. I don't even know if it made it to the editing floor, but it was. And PJ Washington under 7.5 points, or excuse me, under 7.5 rebounds was the number 1 play. I think that was actually in the video as well. I don't know what he finished with, but I vaguely remember people in chat being upset about PJ Washington. And I think a lot of that had to do with, Derek Lively and Gafford being back. Yep, he finished with 5 boards against the Nets, 31 minutes. So that did cash. Top play on the board. So here is your top play on the board as of 9-ish in the morning at the time of this recording. Again, 2 VIP links down below. Hopefully this video helps you out. Follow me on Twitter at DFSN Donuts. Get the Nerfy cheat sheet. Get the daily send it parlay. Got 2 VIP links down there. And I'm back again tomorrow for free picks right here on YouTube. I love you. Appreciate you. Let's get paid.